morning, everybody. Uh, Now you are at the 11th hour. Within 2 days, your exams are going to start. Um, Still, many of the students have lot many doubts, and therefore, we are just going to deal with how to attend and prepare for these online exams. Okay, these are not the usual type of exams. These online exams will have different modes. So let us just go through and understand how the exams are going to be conducted, and based on that, you can prepare yourself and plan yourself. So this is what we are going to deal with. How the exam is going to be conducted, we will learn that or understand that in the mode of examination. Then contents, what is going to come for your exam exactly for each and every subject. Then what will be the planning you will have to make, and how you are supposed to prepare, and finally how you give your exams. All this we are going to deal. So to start with, these exams, unlike all other usual exams, will have multiple choice questions. So what are these multiple choice questions? There's an example. For example, the question is, find the pet animal among the following. You are given four options. Okay, these multiple choice questions for this exam conducted by SPPU will have multiple choice questions from which you will have to answer a single choice. Okay, so out of four you will have to answer any one. You have to select the right option. So this is the example of what type of questions you are going to have in this examination. So this is the mode of examination. However, you have the option to choose between online mode and offline mode. So online mode can be chosen if you have a laptop, smartphone, desktop, and good internet service or connectivity. And if you do not have, then you are forced to join offline mode. Offline mode, you will have to go to a selected center, and from there you will have to give your exam. So in the offline mode, OMR sheets will be given. Only one sheet will be given, and you will have to mark all the answers for all the 60 questions over there. Okay, in 1 hour you will have to complete all 60 questions. 50 marks will be for each subject. So you have the option to answer all 60 questions. The right 50 questions will be considered for your marking purpose. So that is another facility both in online and offline mode. Though you have 50 questions to answer, because 60 questions are given, you can answer all 60 questions because there is no negative marking. And another bonus which is given to you is, any 50 questions which are right, only those will be taken, not considering the first question or the order. Okay, so that's another bonus for you. So you should prepare for these exams and make an attempt for all 60 questions. So online mode you can give from your home, but offline mode, as we discussed, only some selected exam centers, from there only you have to give. If you have already filled up the form, you might have received through your hall ticket your exam centers. So you will have to go to that exam center. The exams will be for 1 hour. Okay, for offline mode, the exams will be conducted between 10 to 11 for every subject. If it is a backlog, there will be two backlog exam per day. So morning one batch and afternoon one batch. So morning batch will start between 10 to 11 for offline mode, and then 2 to 5 for afternoon. Similarly, for online mode, you will be able to connect and give your exam for 1 hour. However, because of some technical issues, no light or internet connectivity, okay, some problem with your laptop or smartphone or whatever the case may be, you have option, and you have little more time to start your exam and end your exam. So anytime between 10 to 12 you can log in, and you can utilize that 1 hour for your exam. Automatically after 1 hour after you have logged in, you will be out of the exam. So this 10 to 1 does not mean you have 3 hours. You have only 1 hour. Automatically after 1 hour, after the time expires, your exam will be done. but if you are getting delayed due to some reason, and if you have connected yourself late, you have the option to give your exams between 10 to 1. So that is an additional facility for all those people who are going to give online mode. Sometimes you may not be able to get connected because of some reason, so you can wait for some time, and then whenever you get the connectivity, say at 10:30 you are starting, so 10:30 to 11:30 you can comfortably give. So that's the reason online mode has also online mode will have this facility between 10 to 1. However, the exams will come to an okay with the end time, that is 1 o'clock. Even if you start at 12:30, the exam will automatically come to an end at 1. So you have to be very careful about that. Do not delay too much. Due to some technical reason there is a delay, it's okay. Otherwise you try to give your exams as quick as possible. All the exams, whether it is offline mode or online mode, are going to be only multiple choice questions. As we saw, it is going to be conducted only for 1 hour. In both the case you get only 1 hour. Okay, here internet connectivity is very important and crucial, and therefore you please ensure that you have good internet connectivity on the days when you have your exam. In case of offline mode, you have to be at least 30 minutes before the exam time starts. Okay, so the university has displayed the timetable for all the courses, all the faculties, and all the subjects. So you will have to stick to that timetable. Exams will be conducted only as per the timetable. There will be no excuse. You will not get a second chance to write if you are late or anything of those things. Okay, so as we discussed, there will be two backlogs, both in case of offline mode and online mode. Exams will take place only as per the timetable. You cannot skip that timetable, and you cannot have your own timetable, so you have to be very careful about that. See, this is a golden opportunity. In this type of examination, the answer is also there in the question. You do not get such opportunity otherwise, and therefore this golden opportunity should not be left. Okay, so that's why I say that you will not get such chance once again. So please make an attempt and do not leave this golden opportunity for yourself. um, See, both in case of online and offline mode, there is going to be strict invigilation. So you should not indulge in any type of malpractices. Even in case of online mode, even if you see, when you are into this examination mode or examination page on your mobile or on your laptop or desktop, when you try to go to any other page, okay, that will be noted down. So if it exceeds certain number of times, automatically your exam will come to an end. So therefore you are supposed to just stick to your exams, okay, and try to complete your exam within the given time. Okay, so do not indulge in any type of malpractices. I am quite very sure that you all have studied well, and therefore there will be no need for doing all such things, and you will give the exams and you will succeed in your exams. The facility in online mode is, if you want, you can change the answers even after you have answered once, okay, within that time limit. If you have answered for question number 2 third option, and thereafter you feel no, it should be second option, yes, you have the facility, you can alter the choice which you have already given. You have gone to fourth fifth question, and thereafter you remember you want to come and change second question, yes, that navigation is possible, you can do that. Only thing you have to take care of, I'm sure all of you by now must have given the mock test through that VBox, and therefore you must be now acquainted with the online mode, how it is going to happen, and how you are going to give the exams. So there is a button called Auto Next. My suggestion would be, do not go for Auto Next, because then that feasibility of going behind to the previous questions, you will not get that. So therefore do not click on that. So automatically it will navigate, and it will allow you to choose any question you want at any point of time. First you choose question number 1, answer that, and then go to 50, question number 50, answer that, come to 23. Any way you can answer it. It is not necessary that you have to go in order. So you might have seen in the mock test on that first page, on the left hand side, there's a grid which will have the question numbers. And once you have answered the question, automatically the color will change. So that is how you will be able to keep a track of the remaining questions, and your remaining time will also be displayed on the screen. So this is another additional bonus or benefit for you in case of online mode. In case of offline mode, if you have marked some, okay, exactly with a pen, then it is very difficult for you to erase that and if you mark in two choices, two options, if you shade them, then you will be disqualified for that question. So you have to be very careful, sure of that question, and accordingly mark. Okay, and here there will be no reminder of time unless the invigilator tells you this much time is left. Otherwise you have to plan yourself. You can take a watch, you are not allowed to take your mobile phones inside the exam hall. So that is how you will have to plan, self plan for your times. Now coming to the contents of the exam, again you need to have an in-depth knowledge. So what is this in-depth knowledge? What type of questions will be included? See, there will be, if you find in any subject these things, you will have to focus on these things. What are these things? Okay, contents of various tables. If there is any table, okay, if there is any figure, if there is any diagram, yes, a question can be on that. If there are some theories and they have given some examples, yes, on those examples you may find some questions. Theories may also have some or concepts, okay, or some meanings. They may and if few different people have defined a particular concept or a theory, then you must know the comparison. And sometimes there also may be disagreement with a particular theory, and therefore yet another theory has come, so that would be considered as an opposite. So such types of comparisons and opposites you must concentrate on, because you are likely to get MCQ questions on those also. Now certain terms may have other similar terms. You may call that particular theory or concept with another name. You must know them, because you can get questions on them also. From where do you get all these MCQs? Okay, multiple choice questions. If you are reading your textbooks, if you are referring your reference books, okay, behind every chapter there will be some objective type questions, and all those objective type questions can be, okay, a part of your MCQ. They can be redesigned into multiple choice questions. Even if it is a fill up the blank or match the following or true or false, these can be converted into MCQs. So you have to go through all these, okay, behind any book which you are referring, whether it is a textbook or reference book. Even on the websites, there are many ready-made MCQs available. You can refer to them also. So that will be a quick learning at this last moment. That is how also you can prepare. Now in both the cases, whether it is offline or online, we said that it is going to be only multiple choice questions, and you have to choose a single out of the four. Okay, it's so that will be the mode for any and every type of question. So what I mean to say is, you will not get true or false or match the following or fill up the blanks. It will always be only multiple choice questions. So four choices are given, you are supposed to answer any one, all questions for all subjects. Now as we said, you will certainly get some questions on the term. Okay, so what is the meaning of that specific term? Key terms are there, and every chapter is based on some theme, some concept or some theory, and so you need to know the definitions and meanings of them. Questions can be based on that. Many different people may have given their views about that concept or theory in a different manner, focusing on certain aspects. So you must know the names of the authors and what they have told about that particular theory. So questions can be based on that also. There can be certain uses of certain concepts. Okay, so you must know where to apply that particular theory or that concept, and those uses also you will get some questions. Questions are going to be from all the topics, all the chapters, so selective study will not help you. If you find any keywords in any of the chapters, if there is some highlighted say concept in on any page of any subject, those are the things which you have to learn. So that can be the content of your examination. In certain practical subjects, you have formulas and equations. You will certainly get questions from those formulas and equations. There can be certain starting dates, okay, and some ending dates. Okay, for example, certain act has been started on a particular date. Certain So that can be a part of your question. Certain stages can be there. So a particular stage starts in 1960 and ends by 1980. So that is what I mean by a period. So you must learn all those things. Those can be a part of your question. There are various acts. You have law subjects also. So you have to really know what is that act and which year it was applicable or came into existence, and it was established. So those dates for those acts are also important. Advantages and disadvantages of any theory is also important. Section numbers of various acts and the provisions, those you have to be thorough with. You can get MCQs on those also. In case of practical type of subject, for example, all accounting papers you have statistics, you have mathematics, you have cost accounting, management accounting. These are all practical papers. So you will not have huge sums, but yes, small practical sums can be very easily framed through an MCQ. So there is a possibility that you get questions on them. Features of any and every topic, concept or theory are important. You must learn them also. There can be questions on those also. So these can be your contents. Now let's go to the planning, what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to plan. The first and foremost thing, what you're supposed to do, prepare a timetable before the examination and even during the examinations. What you're supposed to do at what time, and you have to stick to your timetable strictly. So before doing that, you must be thorough and clear with what is the syllabus or what is the portion for that particular subject. So you have to refer and make prepare accordingly. You need to allocate time for each and every subject equally. So do not avoid some uninteresting subjects. So it will not be meaningful if you score 90% in 3 subjects and if you fail in 1 subject. So you are supposed to allocate equal time for every subject. You are not supposed to do selective study, because you will be getting questions from each and every unit or lesson or chapter and topic. So you have to learn and read each and every page, each and every paragraph. You have to allocate some time for preparing notes, whatever you feel that this is important and this I need to revise, the need to remember once again, or for which I need to make note. You just allocate some time for doing that for each and every subject. You're supposed to avoid any type of rumors and just focus on studying, preparing yourself for your papers, for all the subjects. Allocate time for 2 revisions at least. So that will help you, because there is a possibility due to stress, if you have read only once, in the last moment you may forget. So you need to revise at least twice, so it will be easy for you to give the answers for all the questions. These days you need to take proper rest, you need to sleep properly. So don't overburden yourself, because that may be a hindrance for next day's paper and the next examination also, preparation for the next day's examination also. Therefore sleep is necessary, and at least 8 hours of sleep you must have during these days. At the time of learning, okay, so while you are preparing your timetable, in your timetable itself you need to have short breaks in between the time allotted for learning. So you can, during those short breaks, you can do something whichever can make your mind fresh. So I have given some suggestions. You can do anything else which you feel will make your mind fresh for further learning. So these are certain things what you are supposed to do. You can have a brisk walk. You can just observe the breath. Your breath. You can just close your eyes and just observe breath. You can do some yoga, you can do some meditation, you can listen to the music of your choice. Instrumental music would be advised other than the film music. You can eat healthy food. Okay, you need to consume appropriate levels of water in proper intervals. Okay, so all that will help you to keep yourself fit to write your exams and prepare for your exams. You need to prepare for all the subjects, and you're not supposed to avoid any subject or any topic. That will help you if possible. During the time of preparation, if group preparation is done, yes, then everybody will be able to grasp quickly and exchange your knowledge with others. So that's also a good way of learning. You are supposed to read every paragraph. This is again repeated because that will help you to answer any type of question you get. You are not supposed to just totally depend on the MCQ you get from any source, from anybody, but you have to do self learning, read the entire text, and based on that you will have to give your exam. So while you're reading, you always have to, after you have read a portion of your say subject, you just give a short quiz. So that is how you will refer to the MCQs on websites, in the reference books, whether I have completed a particular chapter and now let me take a test on that particular chapter. This is how you will revise. That will help you to make yourself understand whether you need more study or reading on that particular topic. So this is how you have to go about. You are supposed to make those summaries and notes, and during the final revision just go through them so that you um, know that particular topic once again, or revise that topic once again. So as I've been repeatedly telling, you need to read every topic at least 3 times. So accordingly you have to prepare your planning. um, Certainly your hard work will pay you, so you have to do a smart and hard work. So if you follow all these instructions, okay, guidelines, you will certainly be able to do your smart work and be able to get through these exams. Now one reason why you have to go through these mock tests is for yourself to become familiar with the type of software which is going to be used by our university for the purpose of giving these exams. So you can give the mock test. Of course, the mock test may not have the subject which you are giving. This mock test will be common for all the students from every faculty. So that's why some questions like aptitude test will be included in the mock test. The objective is for you to get familiar with the type of software. So hands-on what you call training is given to you beforehand. So you have you can just go for 5 such tests. Okay, mock test, 5 attempts you can make. So you can learn what is there in that particular software, how to make use of those navigation facilities available in that particular software. So you can get well versed with the software. That's the main reason for you to give this mock test. Okay, and I also repeatedly tell my students that group preparation are better because you can share knowledge from each other. So you may do that for preparing yourself for your exams. You must always stick to your own plan, whatever you have prepared, so that will help you to at least achieve what you have planned for. Um, See, you are never supposed to indulge into malpractices because that will not lead you to a success, okay, a future success. Even if you get a job, because you do not know, okay, everything and anything and practical knowledge, you will have to leave that job within 3 to 6 months, or you will be forced to leave that job. So you have to be careful. You have to not indulge in any sort of malpractices. Study yourself. You are not studying only for the examination, but you are studying for building bright future for yourself. So always accordingly prepare yourself. You need to be consistent in your work, okay, and not lethargic. So prepare well for each of your exam. You must evaluate your own strengths and abilities, and accordingly you have to prepare yourself, and plan out things. Okay, now while attending your exams, you have to be very precise with the exact answer, and only then you, if you are very sure, then mark that. Otherwise you skip that and go to the next question. There is no negative marking, so you can attempt all 60 questions. Only if the right 50 questions will be considered for your marks. So you can take a chance, there is no problem. Okay, you always have to be sure of the correct answer. If you are not sure, even though you are marked, you can change that and you can remark the correct answer. Okay, as this test is going to be for 60 minutes and you have 60 questions, obviously you should not exceed the time limit of 1 minute for each question. So try to complete that question within 1 minute. Read the entire question and hurriedly do not give any answer. Okay, so maybe sometimes if you hurry, you may give a wrong choice. So therefore you have to read the entire question and all the options thoroughly, and thereafter only give the answer. You can skip the hard questions because you have 60 questions and you have to answer only 50 questions. So if you feel there is a particular hard question, first you complete all the easier ones and then you can come back for the hard question. But ensure that you answer all 60 questions, because only 50 questions which are correct will be selected for your marks. Read all the instructions carefully. Your indicator will always, in case of online examination, keep on indicating how much time is left for you, and on the left hand side of the software you will be able to see how many questions are still left. So that indication is always there, so you can accordingly plan out your timing. So you are supposed to avoid random sequence answering. So now let me tell you the software which is being used for this purpose of examination. It will randomly identify some 60 questions for each candidate. I mean, the question number one which candidate one gets may not be for the other candidates. Out of the entire question bank, any 60 questions on random for each student will be selected, and even the choices, okay, can change for every question. Okay, so if one candidate is going to get the correct answer in option 1, the other candidate may get the same question, the correct answer, the choice may be option 3. So automatically the software is going to sequence and throw different questions to different candidates at the same what you call platform. So you are not supposed to follow any such random sequence, okay, that question 1 2 3 4 I will mark like that. So that will not work. You read it properly and thereafter the most likely correct answer, whatever you feel, you have to answer that way. So that will help you to scoring better. So how to do that? You try to read all the 4 options. First locate which can be the most wrong answer, and you will be left with the correct answer. So you have less choices, and that is how you will have to go ahead. So that will help you to give your correct answer. As I keep repeatedly I've been telling, answer all the questions, do not leave any question unanswered. And most important thing is, whatever instructions are given to you, you have to comply with all those instructions. Do not forget or do not give wrong seat number, because your marks may go to somebody else. So please take care of all these instructions and guidelines, and you will certainly be able to come out with the success. Thank you. All the best.